don't have to do everything under the moon and the sun to win. Let the people speak for themselves. Let your work, let what you've done be the reason the people are going to vote you in or out of office. And let the people's will be heard. Let their voice be heard. And that is what we're talking about in Sierra Leone today. But fast forward, shame on us for having a tripartite. But fast forward, we have the leader of the APC who still holds his position that it's not yet over. And listen to this. Let's listen to this little snippet here.
In spite of these troubles, it is my firm conviction that our country must now depart from the old normal, which is the business as usual style of politics.
And he's going to talk about that, but I just want you to understand, that's why I'm playing it. The old archaic way of doing things. Those days are over, and that's what Dr. Samora Kamara is talking about. So listen.
There can be no progress, no democracy, no development where the people are ignored and deprived of their right to choose. This is the desired politics for the people. In light of what we see happening in many parts of the world, it will be insane for us, political leaders, civil society, and international partners to disregard the people's demand for electoral justice in Sierra Leone. The sword that was opened in June 23 cannot be healed unless it is cleaned. What's happened in Sierra Leone in June 2023 is a precedent, a very bad precedent, which, if not corrected, will be a template for future political parties to copy. In this regard, those who think that the same ECSL that conducted the disastrous 2023 elections will miraculously change and conduct a clean, credible, and transparent elections in 2028 are certainly dreaming.
That is what we're dealing with, guys. So he has stood his ground. He is the only man in the APC today who has a very clear and definitive statement about the outcomes of the election. The rest of the executive is sold out. So the people are clinging onto this man, Dr. Samora Kamara, because they know he's the only hope that they have for democracy. Democracy is dying in Sierra Leone. And we all know that Sierra Leone has a very brutal past. We had the brutal rebel war in 1991. A lot of people lost their lives. Why did these guys go to the bush? Why did they take up arms against the state? They said they were tired of the one-party state system that we had at the time. They said there was oppression and suppression. They said they were tired of the human rights abuses. They said they were tired of the exponential rise in the prices of goods and services across the country. They said the youth did not have a job. They went and took up arms against the state because they said, the healthcare system was not where it should be. They said our educational system was not where it should be. They took up arms against the state. In 1991, we had a brutal rebel war. Ali Kaba went to the bush. Forty Sanko took over later on. And today, what we have is worse than what happened between 1978 up till. And the sad part is the fact that the man who's the illegal president of Sierra Leone today was in the middle of all of this. His own sister was married to the rebel leader. His brother, who was supplying arms and ammunition to the military, was also supplying arms and ammunition to the rebels back in the 90s. Julius Matabia. This man, after he left from the military coup that he was in between 1992 and 1996, He served for a 3 month term as the head of state when he overthrew his other Strasser, who was the original pioneer of the NPRC. When he overthrew him, he stayed in power for 3 months until we had the elections, which he did not want, reluctantly, because he was forced to. This man has been in the thick of it. After he left in 1996, he disappeared. We saw him in London in buses with old battered shoes, and it did not work for 22 years. And he came back in Sierra Leone. How he became a president up to this day, we're still questioning that. But he was made a president 22 years. No institutionalization. Did not work. Has no experience. Has no administrative experience. I'm telling you. And he came, and he has sharply divided the country today. His wife, very flamboyant, up and down, traveling the world, wearing some of the most expensive watches, flying private jets, whilst the people continue to suffer. But that is Sierra Leone for us. That is the state of our democracy. But thank God for Dr. Samora Kamara. I'm not going to make this live a long one. I want to thank you all for joining me and watching. But I just want the international world to understand where Sierra Leone is. Our democracy is dying, and it should be salvaged. It should be saved. Right now, what we are asking for, Sierra Leoneans, is a rerun of the elections in the absence of the results of the June 24, 2023 elections. That is what Sierra Leoneans are asking for, and we are not going to let that go until the voice and the votes of the people counts. Because that is what democracy is. It is the power of the people, for the people, and by the people. And the Constitution of Sierra Leone states clearly, Section 5, subsection 2, all the way, it says, through this Constitution, sovereignty belongs to the people, and the government derives its legitimacy, its authority, and its power from the people. And therefore, the people have made their voices heard. We want to rerun elections. We're not going to settle for nothing less. They can come with 10,000 recommendations. We don't give a crap about all the recommendations that they want to bring. The recommendation that we care about is one, a rerun elections, because it is absolutely clear that there is no elections. There is no results from the elections of the June 24, 2023. So in itself, it is null and void. Therefore, we want a fresh election. That is the position of Sierra Leoneans, and that is the position of the people of Sierra Leone, and we shall not rest until we get that. Like I said, this is a series that I'm going to continue. If I could, I'm going to try. Sometimes I might not come live because of the time constraint. I might just record the videos and share, but if I have a chance to do a live, I would. But I just want to share this with the international community, and I want you all to understand this. If you believe in democracy, this is it. Because if the international community, if you guys allow democracy to die in Sierra Leone, the only other option people would have is a rebellion. And that is not good. So if you care, if America cares about democracy, it's time we call for that rerun elections. I'll leave it here, guys. Bye-bye, everybody.